Hi, I'm Al Broberg of Ridiculous Rhymes. And the poem today is about a scam I very stupidly fell victim to. And I call it the Great Firewall Scam. I normally recite these from memory, but this one's a little bit longer. So I'm going to read this to make it go good. The Great Firewall Scam. I thought I knew better than to get played like I did, but I got played easier than a 10-year-old kid. They call it the Cisco Firewall Scam, and they understood well the fool that I am. The pop-ups were flashing all over my screen, unlike any others that I'd ever seen. The Trojan spyware was coming to get me, to steal all my data. Then the trouble would really start to explode, because then they'd be able to learn all my passwords, my computer disable. Thank goodness that Microsoft came on the jiffy to block any spyware or stuff that looked iffy. Their pop-up was right there in front of my face. When spyware is threatening, they're right on the case. There was even a number for customer service. If I call them right now, I'll feel much less nervous. So that's what I did, my first big mistake. Looking back now, it makes my brain ache. The Microsoft customer service guy seemed so authentic to me that I just couldn't glean any hint of the scoundrel that the guy really was. So I let him inside my computer because he had me convinced he was just there to help me. And he sounded just like that he lived in New Delhi, where all the technology's call centers are, so you understand now how it all looked on par. He showed me the changes the spyware had made, and already inside my computer to aid my understanding of the things he must do in order to help me get out of this stew. The spyware turned off Microsoft applications that must be turned on for good operations. But I need not worry, he calmly assured me. He could turn them back on, then everything would be back running just fine, and all it would take was an hour inside my computer to make the changes to get me out of this stew. An hour inside, and then he'd be through. An hour inside is what I let him take, and now I think that my brains were half-baked. He did call me back, which again made it seem that he was authentic. He was on my team. He'd fixed my computer. It was running quite well. The spyware was gone, and he wanted to sell me the best firewall so I'd be protected against future invasions, which could be expected. The Cisco Systems Network Firewall, he said, was the best that he could recall for computers like mine, and just $600 for lifetime protection and much better luck. What a great deal. So I pulled out my card, gave him all of the numbers. It wasn't that hard. Now, Cisco Systems is a real company, and they do sell firewalls, so you can see that again it seemed authentic to me, and I may not be as dumb as a flea. They sent a receipt for $600, which con men don't do, so I thought that my luck could not have been better that Microsoft came to save me from this malicious con game. I was feeling quite good to have managed it all alone by myself, so I decided to call the guy I rely on for computers, to brag about how I'd managed to show the Trojan spyware just who was the boss, and avoided, perchance, a big data loss. Hold on just a minute, he said back to me. You have Norton, and so you should see that if anyone was going to come intervene to stop the spyware, you would have seen a pop-up from Norton and not Microsoft. But I was still certain, so I laughed and I scoffed. He said that he didn't think Microsoft sold firewalls, but it was then that I told him all about the $600 and the new firewall that would bring me good luck. He asked me to read the name on the receipt, and I read him the name at the top of the sheet. Infinity IT Service, it said, then started to feel a small sense of dread. Microsoft is not Infinity, and in that very moment I started to see that I may not have had any spyware at all. It was part of the con just to get me to call that phony customer service line and then feel secure because the guy seemed benign as he pretended to fix the spyware not there then reeled me into the Firewall snare and sold me a firewall he would download, and $600 is all that I owed. My consultant suggested to me that I call Cisco Systems, which sells firewalls, to see if they have a vendor by name Infinity IT Service, the same. Well, it turns out they don't. You might not be surprised. And the point of this all is you all are advised that if spyware threatens with pop-ups in spades, that Microsoft will not come to your aid. It will not be Microsoft, that's part of the scam, nor is there spyware, that's part of the plan. Don't look at that number, don't give it a click, or you'll get reeled in, and then they will stick you with a bill for $600 for a problem not there. And that really sucks. And that is The Great Firewall Scam by Al Broberg. If you enjoyed that, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and there's lots more of this at absolutelyrridiculousrhymes.blogspot.com. You may need to put the www first. Thanks.